guys, happy Sunday and welcome back to my channel. This week we're going to be doing a really fun DIY. It is the perfect, easy, budget-friendly DIY to kick off your summer. We are in full swing in summer here in Florida, so I think this is going to be a really great one to get everyone into that warm weather mood and that hosting kind of feeling when you have your friends and family over when the weather warms up. And it's just a really fun, easy, inexpensive DIY that anybody could do, and it's going to be a staple piece that you use throughout the summer. This week we're going to be making DIY mosaic serving trays and coasters, and I'm super excited about this. I've never done a mosaic before, and I think they're just so pretty and they really kind of represent that warm weather feeling. They're the perfect thing to bring out food and drinks on, and just like a great patio staple or inside your house decor piece. To make this, you can use scrap wood, you can use coasters that you already have, a tray that you already have, or you can get really inexpensive ones at hobby stores, craft stores, or Amazon. So I'm going to be using a tray that I already have, and I'm going to be cutting wood coasters from scrap wood that I have. So I will link similar trays and coasters in the description box for you guys if you want to buy pre-made ones that you can just put your mosaics onto. Keep in mind that you could also do it like this to make it even more budget friendly. We're going to get right into it, and we're going to start doing our mosaics on our tray. Okay guys, so to start off, we're going to be making our tray. I had this old wood tray just lying around. I haven't really used it in quite a while because it's just really simple, not the cutest, not really a great one to display things on when you have people over. It's just very basic. I want to take this tray and kind of step it up and make it more design oriented and stylish and just really give it that summer party sort of feel, like a hosting vibe to it, something that you could leave out on the table with drinks or snacks, and it would look really nice with everything else that you have set out when you have people over. Or you could just have this for yourself, like if you want to bring things over for a movie night, or if you eat on the couch or whatever, you could take your stuff over with this tray and it would be something just pretty for you to look at. That's what we're going to be doing with this tray. So if you have an old tray, it could be any material, it doesn't have to be wood, you could totally use it for this project and it would be the perfect upcycle. The next thing that you'll need is some E6000. You can use other adhesives for this, but E6000 is like a multi-surface adhesive and it's really strong and it cures really well. So I'm going to use this because I want it to stick to tile and wood and be really durable and weather resistant, especially because I live in Florida and the elements outside are pretty rough. And if you're going to have this tray outside at all, then you want to make sure that it's durable to withstand any weather that might come through. That's what I'll be using. And then the last thing that you'll need is some tiles. I got these little tiles on Amazon. I got them in different colors, so I have this like multi-pack of greens. I also got a multi-pack of black, and then these pretty leaf shaped. I got these specifically for the design that I want to do. If you want to do a different design than me, then you could pick different shapes. They also sell like plate cutting tools, and you could go and get plates at the thrift store or plates that you have at home that are chipped or cracked and cut those up and use them as mosaics. There's a lot of ways to do this to keep it super budget. We're going to start by laying out all the pieces in the design that we want to do. I'm going to put a picture of kind of my inspiration for this tray on the screen. I'm going to be doing different colors, but that's kind of just like the general vibe that I want to go for. And I just thought it was so pretty. I thought it had like a really natural look to it, a very like organic feel, but it was still very bright and summery and had those floral elements that I really wanted to tie in. You could use this as your inspiration and follow along with me, or you could look on Pinterest for any kind of mosaic tile, floor, countertops, trays, anything that kind of gives you the feeling that you want, and go for that. So I want to start by just kind of going for it. I think that I'll probably put my petals down first because those are the focal points, and then we can lay everything around them and kind of just mix and match them to get them to fit. Let's start off by laying our leaf pieces. I want to kind of go for a long floral, like a couple stems going from different directions, and then we can fit our other mosaics around it. I right, so I feel like this is really cute as a base, and then we can go in with some stems and fillers and kind of get the rest of this. So I have some larger stems going and then smaller ones, and if we feel like we need to add some as we go, we can always do that too. And I am going to be doing a different pattern for our coasters. That's kind of a different style than this. So make sure you stick around to see the coasters too, because they are going to be just completely different in their look and just overall style. So pretty much what I want to do is use these green tiles to make a stem, and then everything else is going to get filled in with the black tiles. So I'm going to start by gluing all of this down, and then we can just do all the filler work. So we're literally just going to put a little dot of our E6000 on the back of each of these, press them down, and it will be good to go for that first layer of tiles before we add all the background in. Okay, so this is where I'm at. I added the little blue tile pieces just randomly throughout because I thought it would look really pretty. And I want to take these clear ones that I have. They look like that, like a white clear. And I want to do a border with these all the way around the edge and then fill everything else just randomly with the black tiles. That's my current plan. I think it's going to be really pretty and kind of go with that inspiration picture where it had the gold trim and give a similar feel. We are going to make a little border and then we'll just fill everything in. So super simple. And once we do all that, we'll just let the E6000 dry and then we can grout everything and it'll be all done. And I am going to leave spaces in the border so that it's not all touching. I want to have that grout in between. And I just kind of want it to be very natural feeling, not super planned out. Doesn't have to be perfect. The spaces between the tiles don't need to be like exact. I want it to feel organic and like I made it, you know, I don't want it to be overly perfect. I don't want to put stress on that. It's supposed to be fun. So don't worry too much about everything being exact. It's just supposed to be a fun project, fun DIY that gives you a really pretty tray and coaster. So just kind of enjoy it. Also, I'm really interested in trying doing a mosaic with the plate cutters, like I was talking about earlier, and getting like some plates from the thrift store and maybe doing something like this. Or I've seen someone do mosaic on a statue. So they got a statue from IKEA or the thrift store or whatever, and then mosaic over it, and it was so pretty. So I'm really interested to try that. So if you guys want to see that, definitely leave me a comment, let me know, and we could do a mosaic statue of some sort or something like that. But I think it would be really fun. I'm just really loving this look lately. I think it's just so fun and playful and pretty and still brings in that vintage element, especially depending on the design that you choose. I think that makes all the difference in the feel that it gives. All right, so I'm just going to keep doing the border and then I'll check back in with you guys when I get to tiling the background with all the black tiles. it is the next day and I went ahead and cut and sanded our pieces of wood that we're going to use for our coaster. So they look like this. And what I want to do is make a checkered pattern over our coaster. And we're going to do one that's colorful with the clear and the different shades of green. And then we're going to do another one that is a black and white checkered. So I want to stick with the color palette that we have on our tray, but do a totally different design and style to kind of mix and match. Let these be contrasting in pattern, but complementing in color. So you could use them together, you could use them separate, and it just gives you a little bit more versatility. This pattern is going to be a little bit more precise. I did go ahead and already do our colorful one, and so I'll put a picture of that on the screen for you guys. We'll do the black and white checkered pattern together, and then we're going to grout everything. So let's go ahead and make our last coaster, and then we can get into grouting, and then we'll be all done. Okay, so we're gonna do all of our grouting to finish up our project, and I'm using this ready-to-use grout. I'll link all that stuff for you guys if you're interested. I also have just a Tupperware with water and a kitchen sponge in it. I had this tile tool already because I like making art and things with it, and it's also just super useful, so that's what I'll be using. If you don't have this, you can use any kind of flat scraping surface like this that you have, or honestly, you could probably just put on some plastic gloves and use your hands because you're gonna wipe the excess off. So I don't think it's like that serious. Like if you were tiling a bathroom, I think you would be totally fine doing it like that. So I'm just gonna put on some gloves because this can be kind of drying on your hands. And then really it's a pretty simple process. All you need to do is scrape up some of your grout, plop it down on your tray, and then we're just gonna scrape it over the entire surface until you see that it's gone all the way down into all of the cracks. And then we will wipe the excess off with a wet sponge. And you really want to get all the way down in the cracks so that you don't have gaps, because it's not going to be as helpful in holding everything in place. It's also just not going to look as nice. So I like to go from different directions to make sure that I get every single little space. Alright, so now that we got it all grouted and we scraped any excess off, we're going to take our wet sponge and just wipe down all that extra that's sitting on top. And then when your sponge gets dirty, you just dip it back in and clean it and keep going till you have a pretty clear surface. And after this, we're gonna let it sit for about 4 hours or more. And then we can take a cloth and just rub the hazy color off of the stones that's left over from any grout that's sitting on top. And if you have a hard time getting that off, you can use a little bit of acetone on a Q-tip to wipe it off the tiles. And then you just let it sit for 24 hours and it's good to go. Alright guys, well that wraps up this week's video. I hope that you enjoyed making a mosaic tray and coasters with me. I think they're the perfect summer essential. Just a super fun, relaxing, beautiful DIY that you can use all summer long and even into the winter months just to bring something really pretty and vibrant into your fall and winter. So if you enjoyed making this DIY with me, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this every single Sunday. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday.